Until one night she was at my house, and then another girl came knocking on the door, and this girl got scared shitless. She ran in the toilet, she locked the toilet, she started taking a dump out of fear, and the other girl is slamming on the door because she sees her shoes outside my door. What's going on, guys? It's Nav Sultan, and this is Sultanic Thoughts. And it's time for you guys to get another Thailand video, because the Thailand videos are what everyone seems to love. And as much as I want to do the other stuff, I gotta give you guys what you really, really want. And today I'm gonna make a video about Thai girls. So, Thai girls, I have a lot of experience in this area of Thailand, and I want to give you guys a big rundown from the top to the bottom. I'm going to be talking about sugar mamas. I'm going to be talking about the types you want to watch out for. And I'm going to be talking about also, what types you should go for based off who you are, right? So let's start with what types you should go for based off who you are. Now, a lot of the girls that come from the Northeast region, this is called the Isan area. These are kind of like more farm, rural areas. The women have darker skin. And in Asian culture, dark skin is considered low class because they look at it like if you have dark skin, it means you work in the farms. Like, it's really racist, but it is what it is. This is how it is. So a lot of these girls love white guys. They love white guys. If you are a white guy, it is so easy to get these women because, on a subconscious level, they are looking to breed out their dark skin, and you also have to watch out for these women because I've had a few friends, white skin, blue eyes, and these girls, got pregnant. And they didn't want to get rid of the kid. They didn't want to take the plan B. They didn't even care if the guy stayed around in their life. They just want to have a white kid with blue eyes. So they're very, 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 they place the white man as like the top of the list. And it's very, 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 it's like a cheat code if you are one of these white guys. Now, if you want to keep these girls, obviously the same rules for female nature apply here, but you start off very high status. And it's funny to me because, I was living in Canada at first, and it was the winter time, and I was working at home all the time. So my skin was really, really white. I'm naturally really, really white, See me with darker skin, it's because I'm out in the sun, but I'm very, very white. So when I would go to these places, when I first went to Thailand, I had, a lot of good luck with these girls. And the more I would go to the beach, the more I would see, wait a minute, why aren't I getting that same kind of attention and, treatment that I first got? And I was like, oh, it's because my skin is getting darker. It's funny, and then the girls, a lot of them would be like, oh, you look Muslim, man, and I'd be like, no, I'm Canadian. Look at my passport, Canada. Oh, Canada. Oh, very good. I like Canada, And I was like, you racist ass bitch, you know what I mean? And then after I did what I had to do, you know what I mean? I let them know, I'm from Iran, I'm Muslim. And they would get angry. Why you say Canada? Why you say Canada but you're Muslim, man? And, I just trolled them. Get out of here, yo. Your duty has been served, and now you can go back and look for your French dude, your English dude, whoever you think it is that's going to breed out your dark skin color. I remember this one time, there was this really, really smoke show from Bangkok that I was seeing, and I was staying in Pattaya for a month, and she would come on the weekends and visit me in Pattaya for the weekends, right? She would drive down, hang out with me for like 3 days, 3 days, whatever it was, and go back. And I remember one time she was on the phone with her mom. She's telling her mom, like, yeah, I'm in Pattaya. I'm going to go to the beach. And the mom is on the phone crying, crying. And I'm like, what's going on? I don't speak Thai, right? I know so little bit Thai. And I was like, what's going on? Why is the mom crying? Did somebody pass away or something, you know? And then I found out afterwards that the mom was crying because she was telling the daughter, "Oh, you don't care about yourself. You're gonna go to the beach, and then your skin is gonna get dark." Because she was a really really white Thai girl. She's like, "You're gonna go to the beach. Your skin is gonna get dark, and they're all gonna think you're from Isan, from this northern part, you know." And it's just like, Jesus Christ, that stuff it really runs deep there. And a lot of you probably notice it with, Asian women in the Western world. You see them in the summertime. They got long sleeves, they got gloves, they got those visors that cover their face. And it's just the white skin. The white skin is the pinnacle of Asian culture. If you want to make a lot of money online with the Asian community in these Asian markets where, the prices for ads are extremely cheap because they're not as competitive as the US market, find the product that makes the skin white. If you can find the product that makes the skin white, you're going to get a whole lot of sales. You're going to make a whole bunch of money off these people because they love it. They love it. They absolutely, it's all about the white skin for them. All right. Now, Bangkok is more or less like it's a free for all because, the thing that's interesting is when I went to Thailand in 2012, there was social media, but it wasn't as cross border as it is now, right? So, even though the Thai girls had Facebook and YouTube and all that stuff, they were still embracing and consuming their own culture. They were listening to, Thai love songs, Thai soap operas. You get what I'm trying to say? But on my last trip, it was completely different. When I would go on Instagram and use these dating apps, I would see chicks in their bios, LGBTQ, LGB, whatever that shit, QT, whatever, BLM, and what happened now is that American culture algorithm is now spread worldwide. And the women there are consuming, are basically being influenced, the Gen Z, etc., are by this current garbage culture of the US. This degenerate culture has now made its way over there. The girls are getting the sleeves like how, these Instagram models would get them. And they're basically becoming a carbon copy of the American Instagram, dirtbag chick, right? So, back in the day, the girls wouldn't really like the black guys as much. But now it's a whole different story because they're being fed the hip hop, the Cardi B, all this other stuff. So, they are getting a lot of love there now. And Bangkok is kind of like a melting pot, I think, where a lot of guys from all over the world can kind of find their match. Now, if you're Middle Eastern and Arabic, the best bet is the South because the southern Thai regions, it's the ones closer to Malaysia. These are Muslim Thai women, and I like them the best. They're actually, to me, my favorite type of Thai women because they do have some kind of, wifey qualities. There's not as much degeneracy in them, but they'll still get down and freak off and do all those good things. But if you are like a Middle Eastern guy, if you are an Arab guy, you will have the best luck with these girls because just like how the northeastern ones are all about the white skin, in Islamic cultures, in Indonesia, wherever it might be, it's still the Arab guy is still unconsciously like the top pinnacle, archetype for them. So they love a nice, good-looking Middle Eastern guy. And I had a lot of success with them. I had some good relationships with them. Like, I even have a girl to this day, 10 years. She just can't get over me. You know what I mean? I don't say this stuff to brag, but, as a man, it's always best to go after the females that like you more than you like them. Like that's gonna be a video on its own about, you know, forget about who you really like. Focus on who really likes you as a man. You'll have a lot less problems in life. Like you guys have probably noticed, you know, the girls that you really care about become headaches, and then the ones that you don't really care about just, you know, do whatever you want and give you a lot less games, headaches, you know, hot and cold nonsense, you know, all the stuff that drives us crazy when as men, when we develop some kind of attachment with women. We don't really get as much of those problems when we don't care about the woman. It basically fulfills their hypergamy that, you know, they're chasing your validation. That's a whole nother video. I'm gonna make that video. That's gonna be a really good eye-opening video for a lot of you simps and blue-pilled gang beta male leaders out there, right? So keep that in mind, right? Get it how you get it. You know what I'm trying to say? Some of you guys aren't gonna get it anywhere but the red light district, right? You guys, it is what it is, you know. It is what it is. But, you know, even that I talk about that Northeast region, when I went up to train in a town, Ubon Ratchathani, and I had a Muay Thai fight out there, there wasn't many foreigners. And as soon as when I showed up there, it was like a free for all. When I went to 7-Eleven, I'd get that look. Man, I would go to the Walmart of Thailand, and I would see women employees, you know, like much older than me, come and turn their ass to me, like pretend like they're putting stuff on the shelf. They were just trying to catch my attention. I used to go eat barbecue chicken by this restaurant near a university. It was an all-girls university. And, you know, I was jacked. I was like, you know, a sporty guy, stylish. I think I was like 29 years old. And when I would walk in that place, man, all the chicks would look. All the chicks would look. You really are playing with a cheat code when you go to these rural regions and just post up there. It's night and day. Like I would have these chicks just from a few messages on dating apps come to my house, and I'd look out the window and they'd be like in a huge ass pickup truck. And I'm like, why is this little Thai girl driving a huge pickup truck? Well, it's her husband's pickup truck. You get what I'm trying to say? She's telling the husband, I got to go to the store to buy something. She comes into my house and she's out in 45 minutes. It was literally really like that. It was crazy. I remember there was this one chick who really liked me. She worked at a car rental shop inside the airport. And one day she's like, oh, let's go to the mall. I was like, all right, whatever. She picked me up. We went to the mall. And you know, that store, the body shop, they sell like body wash and stuff like that. Her friend worked there. Her friend worked there. And she's like, oh, come, I know this girl. She takes me in there. The friend takes a look at me. And right away, she gives the phone to the girl I went to the mall with. And she tells her friend, oh, take a picture of us too. You know what I mean? And the girl's like weirded out by it, but she's like, oh, okay, whatever. So she takes a picture with me and this girl who I don't even know. It's her friend. The girl looks at the picture and says, oh, isn't this a nice picture? Let me send it to you. What's your phone number? Right in front of this girl. I quickly tell her the phone number. This girl looks at me and I'm like, I don't know. She wants to send me the picture. You know what I mean? She fucking sends the picture to me. We leave the place. 45 minutes later, we're in the car driving. The girl's texting me, blah, blah, blah. Where do you live? This and that and this. And I was like, what the heck's going on here? Next day at my house, and she brought me this huge bag full of body shop supplies. You know what I mean? Just showed up to the crib. Whatever happened. And it was just wild. It was such a cheat code being in this city. And there's a lot of cities like this. A lot of you guys, you know, you can get 9s and 10s and get the best treatment for them if you change your like Tinder, Bumble locations to some of these major cities in these rural parts of Thailand. Because they're not used to foreigners showing up on their feed. And it's literally, when you swipe, it's like swipe match. Everything is a match. Everything is a match. And flights are cheap in Thailand, so you can get like some real eights and nines from these regions. They'll speak no English, but it doesn't matter to them. If you're set up in a place like Phuket, like I was, you just like you can get them the ticket. A lot of times they'll come themselves, or you can be a grimy ass dude like I've been a few times and send them down on a no air conditioning bus. You know what I mean? Might be like 10, $15, like 15-hour ride. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, right? You guys, you can do it, or you can put them on the flight. You can do whatever you want. You know what I mean? Yeah, I had a chick 22-hour bus ride. She came all the way down. She like messaged me when you're at the 7-Eleven. She messaged me at the 7-Eleven. I showed up on my motorbike. Big grin, like she had her head down like this. She looked up. She saw it was me. Huge grin. Hopped on the back of the motorbike. And I don't know, after 8 hours, I kind of told her, like, yo, I got stuff to do. I'm busy. She dropped her off at the bus station. And she took another 22-hour, no air-conditioned bus ride back to wherever she was. You know, it is what it is. It's crazy out there. It's really crazy out there. And during this time, I really had my feeling switch off. You know, I probably wouldn't do it. Like, I wouldn't do that stuff anymore. But I was younger. It was abundant. It was what it was. Now, that's kind of the rundown about the different regions and where you want to position yourself, how to position yourself, and depending on what your ethnicity is, what type of girls you should probably go for. You know, like if I'm in Thailand, I meet a girl and she's Muslim, I like her a lot more. I'm more interested in meeting up with her than if I just find one of these rule tricks. It's not for me. It's not for me at all anymore. Now, sugar moms. Okay, I've had 3 sugar moms in Thailand. The third one, I didn't pursue it. She was a widow, and she had like government connections. She was really well connected, but she was just like personality wise, just lame. And at this time, I had money. I didn't care for it. I really couldn't force it. And then the other 2, I'm going to talk about one of them. One of them messaged me on a dating app, and I just came back from, I was in Vietnam for 2 months, eating pasta every day, deadlifting every day. I was probably the most jacked I've ever been in my life. I was like 28 at the time or something. I was pretty much hitting my prime, like looks wise. You know what I mean? Even though I still maintain myself now. At that time, it is what it is. And we started talking, and I wasn't that interested in her. She was like maybe like 6 years older than me. She was like 36 something. I was like 28, 29. And she was more pursuing me. She wasn't nothing special. She was like a 6 out of 10 at best on her best days. And she added me on WhatsApp. And when I looked at her name on WhatsApp, it was her Thai name, and her last name was Wilkinson. And I had met a guy in Thailand, you know, the year before, something Wilkinson from England. So I was like, I knew that was an English last name. So I told her, like, this is weird. Why is your name Wilkinson? I didn't say anything. So she's like, let's go out and eat. I said, okay, cool. She picked me up. We started talking. And then when we sat down, we ordered our meals. And then I brought up, why is your last name Wilkinson on WhatsApp? And she told me, she's like, I have a husband. He sells cars. He lives in England. He goes back and forth to Australia for business, but he's not going to be here for 6 months. So I want to do what I want to do. And then I said, okay, cool. But, you know, I was like, okay, cool. I kind of left it at that. And then, but in my head, I'm thinking like, I don't want to keep taking this girl to these expensive restaurants because that's where she went on the first date. You know? And then when the bill comes, I see her grab it and pay for it. I was like, all right, cool. I didn't say anything. And she said, we'll hang out, but you don't have to pay for anything. I said, oh, okay, I know what this means. And from that, for like the next 4 or 5 months, I was eating good every night. And it was the same thing. She would pick me up after Muay Thai. She would give me a couple thousand baht. She'd be like, here, when the bill comes, I want you to pay for it. because she felt embarrassed paying for it, right? And it was funny because we would go out to these places and then there'd be these young Thai waitresses serving us, and they would always look at her and look at me like, how did you get him? How did you get him? You know what I mean? Because she wasn't that special, right? And the bill would come and I would pay for it, and then I would keep whatever money was left over. And she took me on vacations. She took me shopping, uh, high-end massages, high-end spas, whatever I wanted to do. I would just tell her, yo, I want to do this. She's like, all right, let's do this. You know what I mean? And this went on for a while. There was even times where she's like, we're going to go to a pub with my friends. So she invites all her friends to this pub. And then we walk in, and the friends were, it was the same thing. The friends were looked at her, looked at me, and they didn't understand, how did you get him? How did you get him? That, you know what I mean? And she would just put on this huge performance when she was there. And she would kept ordering drinks for everybody, like going all out. And then when the bill comes, I pull out her money and I start paying for it. And the girls were all like, what? He's paying for it too? Like, what's going on here, you know? And this went on for 4 or 5 months. Then her husband came back and she told me, my husband's coming back. I can't see you anymore. And I said, okay, cool. I never bothered her. I never did anything. And then fast forward like 3, 4 years later, I go to eat one night. Who do I see? I see her and her husband sitting across from each other. And the guy's like, this guy's like fawning over this fucking below average chick. She's sitting there eating, drinking, like looking so annoyed. Like I've never seen, and she never had any of these expressions when she was hanging out with me. And this guy was just like in awe of this girl, so in love with her. And I sat next to them, but she never made eye contact with me. She never looked at me. I eat because I eat fast. I'm like, she's not paying. She's not going to notice me. So I get up, but the cash register is right behind the husband. I walk around the husband. I pay for my meal. I take one more look at her. She takes a sip of the wine. She puts it down. She realizes it's me. And then her face goes like this. And the husband goes like this. Like, he knew something was up. And I'm trying my best not to fucking explode in laughter. But he knew, like, what is going on with this guy and her. And I turned around, I went to my bike, and the husband's like head's like a giraffe. It's trying to pop over other chairs and trying to fucking look at me. And I got on my bike, I left, I laughed. 1 year later, the guy had a heart attack. It was over with. And that was the end of that thing, you know. And the other sugar mom story, this one was more interesting. But there are a lot of women like this in Thailand, right? These women marry these blue-pilled simps, and they go back and forth. They're all over the place. Sometimes the guy passes away. She's all alone. And they kind of are looking for a guy who's, you know, young and in shape. You know what I mean? So they can kind of like show them off to their friends. It's pathetic, but it is what it is. This is how it is. It's no different than the old guy getting that hot bimbo skank as arm candy to show his golf buddies, like, look what I have. Look at this toy, you know? She used to tell me all the time, you toy boy, you toy boy. And I'm like, it's boy toy, not toy boy. You know, so a lot of you guys can lock these down. It is what it is with them. The main thing you want to understand is if they have a husband in the background, don't be that annoying guy like, are you going to leave him for me? Are you going to do this to me? You always want to be the guy that's like, yeah, it's cool. I understand. I'm not trying to screw up your marriage. As long as you can let it be like that, like let them know, listen, I'm not here to ruin your marriage. They'll do whatever you want. They'll take you to trips. They'll give you money. They'll pay your rent. They'll buy you a motorbike. That's all they want. They just want to make sure that you will not screw up their golden goose, which is that old guy who's, you know, in love with them and simping for them. And that's, what else do I want to talk about? Sorry, I talked about those two main ones. And I should have wrote them down. Okay. And the other thing you want to do is you want to kind of vet girls too if you are going to take them seriously. A lot of these girls, when you're in these tourist cities like Phuket or whatnot, their moms and aunts kind of groom them to go there and find a guy to take care of them and do all that stuff. And what's crazy is that there was this one time I met this girl on this dating site, and I met her at the mall. We were gonna go watch a movie and just do something innocent, just for like the first, just to like cut the tension of meeting. And when I met up with her, this girl would not stop playing with her fucking phone. She would not stop taking selfies, and I was ready to walk out and leave. Right? And I told her, I'm like, yo, if you pull out your phone one more time, I'm gone. So she put her phone away. I ended up seeing this boring movie, Thor. I fell asleep 5 minutes into it. I woke up 5 minutes before the ending. And I was like, this is whack. This is a waste of time. I'm not dealing with this, you know? And I told her, let's go. I'm going to drop you off home. And as soon as I said that, everything changed. No, I don't want to go home. I want to stay with you. I want to stay with you. I want to stay with you. I said, really? Why? Like you've been playing with your phone. Took me into this garbage movie, this and that. She's like, no, I'll do whatever you want. I'll do whatever you want. I'll do whatever you want. I said, all right, cool. So I took her home. And she kind of became a little bit obsessive for a bit. Until one night she was at my house, and then another girl came knocking on the door, and this girl got scared shitless. She ran in the toilet. She locked the toilet. She started taking a dump out of fear. And the other girl is slamming on the door because she sees her shoes outside my door. In Thailand, people leave their shoes outside. And the long story short, I ended up making sure that girl didn't fight this girl. And the one that was the little one, I sent her off. And the other one came inside. And some funny stuff happened. But the one that was outside crying and knocking, I think she got turned on by the whole experience based off, what happened that night and the weeks afterwards. And I stopped talking to that short girl. Now, what's crazy is I'm going to post the article here. That girl got murdered, right? She was dating this guy, and the guy bought her a house, I guess was doing all this stuff. And I guess the mom was telling the daughter to, like milk this guy, get him to buy us a house here, get him to buy us a house there. Just a complete simp who was just kept feeding, giving and giving and giving. And she was taking and taking and taking. And this guy, ended that girl's life. It's crazy. And I found out like years later, and it blew my mind how it was tied to this chick. And, you got to watch out for that stuff there too. And, when you find these girls that are supposed to be good girls, see who likes their pictures on social media. If it's a bunch of foreigners, like you're not the first one. But when you look at it, and it's just a bunch of Thai girls and Thai people and Thai cousins and stuff like that, know that they're not so familiar with the tourists. Right? You get what I'm trying to say? Because I did make that other video, the guys that lose it all in Thailand. And you can just put yourself in those situations to figure them out. But as a whole, Thai girls are really fun. You can't really have a lot of deep conversations with them. I haven't found, like maybe 1 out of every 100, if that. You know what I mean? But, if you're a simple guy and you just want to work on your online business and have a Thai girlfriend and go eat, do this, do that, and live in Thailand, you can create something for yourself and live a good life. But yeah, that's kind of, I guess, the video. It's almost 30 minutes. I'm probably going to think of things. I might have to make a part 2 because as soon as I hit stop, I'm going to remember a bunch of things that I want to say. But yeah, it's Nav Sultan. This is Sultanic Thoughts. Like, subscribe, comment. Please, guys, I have some videos that I've uploaded in the past week. One was about the #1 weapon women use. Check it out. Let me know what you guys think about it. I really got big plans for July. I'm going to start clipping these videos up, putting them on TikTok, putting them on Instagram and YouTube shorts. And I really need to, you know, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. So I can't just be putting out videos like this. I gotta do more, guys. So like, subscribe, comment, peace. Thank you guys. I love you guys. Later.